So these are oracle cards. In my world, pretty much everybody knows what they are, and I sometimes assume it's like that for everyone. But if you're new to oracle cards, please allow me to explain. So the first question is, how do you use oracle cards? Well, oracle cards are similar to tarot in as much as they are both divination tools. In other words, you ask a question and you get an answer. They can be used for so-called fortune telling, or, as I prefer to use them, as a way to get spiritual guidance. For me, these cards are all about what you are currently manifesting. So if you do a reading and you don't like the outcome, simply change your behavior. On some decks, you have a picture. On mine, you have an image and a short message. The number of oracle cards in a deck varies, but it's nearly always less than the 78 cards of a tarot deck. In my deck, we have 44 cards. One thing you might not realize is that when you get your new oracle deck, you actually do need to do at least a little ceremony. Why? Because these are sacred tools. Life is all about intention, and so is the little ceremony that I suggest you do when you open a new pack of oracle cards for the first time. Take a moment to enjoy the moment, okay? Open up the box and remove all the cards and the guidebook, which you'll get, and hold them in your hands just for a moment, okay? This moment could be the start of a long and beautiful relationship. These cards are going to help you to access your powers of divination. It's no small thing, okay? So before you start to use the cards, it's super important that you put your energy into them and that you more or less clear away the energy of anyone else that has touched them during the manufacturing process, during the shipping process, at any time, okay? You just want your energy. So with the deck face down in one hand, just breathe slowly and gently as you mindfully take the cards one by one from the top of the deck and place them face down in a stack in front of you, okay? Once you've done that, you will have put your energy into each and every single card, okay? So that's the first step. With that done, pick the cards back up and repeat the process, but this time with the cards face up. And look briefly, at least briefly, at the face of every single card as you go, okay? So you just want to take a moment, for one thing, to appreciate the beautiful artwork of artist Nix Rowan, but also to start to get to know the cards one by one. Okay, so you just want to go all the way through them. Once you've gone through the deck again, bring them together in both hands, holding them to your heart chakra, and say something along the lines of, "Beautiful cards, I ask you to lead me in the right direction with good advice for me and for anyone else who seeks guidance from you. Thank you for always showing me gently whatever I need to know as I read you. I trust you, and so it is, so be it." Okay, that's it. That's all you have to do. Then, to ask a question, you simply start to shuffle them. Ask a question and then pick a card or three. A single card reading is really simple and will give you a very quick and easy answer, okay? It's a lovely thing to do every morning, to draw a card of the day and then journal about it. It's actually really lovely. If you do a meditation, you draw a card and you journal about it. Beautiful. Or you can do a 3-card reading, one for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. Like that. Just draw the cards and then either use your intuition to see what comes to you in terms of an answer, or you can refer to the interpretations booklet here, which will give you tons and tons of information about what the card actually means. It'll give you an affirmation that you can say to help you process whatever the cards are telling you, and we'll even give you some additional meanings for the cards so you can really start to understand them. Many people have said to me that they are blown away by these Moonology cards, and I have to admit, even I have been as well. I've used them ever since they first came out. They are made up of 12 new moon cards, which herald beginnings, 12 full moon cards, which are more likely to herald climaxes and conclusions, and a card for each of the 8 moon phases across the lunar month, and 12 special moon cards, which can mark standout, sometimes unexpected situations. So now I want to end by quickly addressing 5 questions that I get asked about the cards all the time. Number 1 is, how do I read them in the most simple fashion? And again, the answer is to do a 1 card reading, okay? So you just spread the cards out and then choose the card that jumps out at you. Oh, there you go. A new start is coming, okay? So you just take the card that you pick, and that's your message for your answer if you've asked a question or the reading of the day. Number 2, does it matter if the cards come out upside down? Well, it doesn't to me at all. What I do actually is on a regular basis, I go through them and I actually make sure they're all the right way up. I don't have upside down card readings and interpretations in this deck, and even when I'm reading tarot, I actually don't do reverse cards, but it's up to you. Number 3, this is a common one. Is it okay to keep asking the same question over and over again? Well, yes and no. It's okay if you ask it, you know, how is such and such a situation panning out, and you get your answer, and then a week later you ask again to see if anything's changed. But if you keep asking the same question over and over again, you know, in the same day or the same hour or the same couple of days, you'll actually start to be getting answers from the future, and it's not going to make much sense. So you're actually better off not to keep asking the same question until there have kind of been developments and the card's prediction has come to pass. Okay, also, is it okay to allow other people to handle your cards? Well, that's another good question. It's a bit like, you know, is it okay to let other people handle your crystals? I would say yes, because especially if you're doing a reading for someone and you spread them out and then, you know, you ask them to take a card, they're going to touch your cards, you know, and that's fine. But what I do is after a reading or after someone has touched my beautiful precious cards, what I do is I, probably when they're not there because I don't want them to be offended, but I give them a good, I turn them around. It's like knocking the energy. Knocking the other person's energy out of them. Not because other people are bad, but just because you want your energy to be in the cards. So finally, can you do a Celtic cross with the Moonology cards? Well, you know what? You can. Would I? Probably not. Why? Because these cards weren't really designed for that. If you look in the booklet, it does explain about a Celtic cross because I know a lot of people like to do them. I personally stick to the new moon spreads, the full moon spreads, the 1 card readings, the 3 card readings. But really, can you do a Celtic cross with them? Sure, why not? I hope that answers your questions and that you love using these beautiful Moonology cards.